What up, YouTube? You got Sarge here. Big shout out to Crap Nation crew. What up, my peeps? I'm about to give you guys a quick trip report here of my Vegas trip that I just came back off of on Thursday of this week. We flew out there on Monday uh, and got back on, well, today's Saturday, but got back on yesterday or Thursday. Went out there to celebrate my 59th birthday. Yay, happy birthday to me. I splurged a little, did it up in grand style. Had the limo pickup at the airport, had a nice big stretch limo sitting there, picked up. Had a couple of friends that went along, but everyone arrived at different times. So hey, it was just me and my wife in the limo. Guess what? That was fine by me. Popped the champagne and went rolling down Vegas Boulevard. It was a blast. Uh, the We stayed at the Bellagio. The Bellagio speaks for itself. Beautiful room accommodations. We got there. They already had room keys waiting and all that stuff. No issues there. Got checked in. Our room. We took we, like I said, splurged a little. We had the room up front, directly facing the fountain. We had the fountain view, which was head on, dead on. We was literally where the building kind of concaves and comes in. We was dead center. That was where our room was at. Stayed on the 14th floor. Great, beautiful view of the fountain, and then of course you put the TV in the room on the fountain channel, and whatever when the show starts every 30 minutes, you got the music coming through the TV, and it's all choreographed and stuff. So beautiful show, and it just never gets old. I think I must have sat there and watched every show with the TV on, and my wife was like, didn't you have enough of that? I was like, nope, I'm gonna watch the next one. And long as we was in the room, I was watching the waterfall fountain show. That's where you pay the big bucks, so you can enjoy the view, enjoy the water show. So all right, enough about that. So then let's see, we got in about 5:30 in the evening. By the time we got checked in, situated at the hotel, it was about 8 o'clock. Came downstairs about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Came downstairs, and I was surprised to see they had already, the tables was jacked up. The pit boss was just moving all the crap table, like simultaneously went from $25 to $50 and $100. I was like, holy crap. Normally I go up there to Chalk Talk and I'm bitching about it being $25 when they raised it from 15. So guess what? My lips are sealed. I won't be bitching about that anymore when I go to my local casino. Anyhow, so I was like, okay, you know what? $50. I'm just gonna try to tiptoe in to a session. My wife took off to go play her slots machine. So I was like, okay, and other friends we hadn't hooked up with them yet. So I bought in a table for $500. It was a $50 table. And I guess, I was a little eager to get on the table. Problem was probably a little too eager to get on the table. And I watched the dice go around. It was maybe, table was pretty packed. I just wanted to get a couple tossed in, and I waited till the dice went around and got to the guy next to me. I was able to get my position. Incidentally, stick right was open, and all the other positions was filled in. Had a full table, but stick right was open, right where I need to be at. Stick right 2, which was perfect. So slipped into my position, bought him for $500, and I waited till the dice went around, The dice came to the guy next to me. I finally took some action on him. It was a 50 bucks table, so I was not 6'8" and everybody. 6'8", the guy next to me, and he had a decent roll. I think I might have got 30 of my 60, 60 of my 120 off the table on him. I think the point might have been 8. He hit the 6, rolled a couple other box numbers, then 7 out. Dice came to me. I'm like, okay, you know what? Place the pass line, 50 bucks, and set the point. And I was like, okay, the point was like 8. I'm like, let me just play this, try to tiptoe into this game. So I placed the 6 for 60. 8 was the point, and I think I went ahead and placed the 9. And won't you know it, the next roll, PSO'd. I was like, oh shit, this is not starting off well. So it's like, okay, let the dice go around the table. You know, I'm thinking of, well, it was a bad throw. It was a bad throw. The dice came out, and my release was jacked up, and the dice came out, and you know, so I was like, okay, next time around I need to pay closer attention. Like I said, probably a little adrenaline, a little eagerness. Dice went around, same thing. Got the guy next to me, took action on him, 6'8". Took a good while for the dice. I missed out on some nice rolls, but I wasn't about to go betting on everyone. Not at that. Not on a $50 table. Not happening. So when the dice came to the guy next to me, I took action on him. Went 6'8", and he had a decent roll. I think I might have got my 60 bucks back that time. 60, my 120. Keep thinking no, it was not a $25 table. It was a $50 table, which I've never played on my life. But you know, I had a bankroll for it, but that's no reason to play because I had the bankroll for it. I needed to really get dialed in on my toss. Anyhow, the dice came to me, did the same dumb shit again. PSO'd. I was like, what the hell? And this time the toss was perfect, so now I'm scratching my head thinking, okay, what am I doing or not doing wrong here? Something can't be right. And so the dice go around the table. I said, you know what? I'm going to give this one more shot. And, you know, the dice go around. Guy next to me, hell, I think he PSO'd. Yeah, this last hand, the guy prior to him PSO'd. He PSO'd, the dice came to me, and guess what? Yep, old Sarge screwed up and did it again. After that, I was like, hey, well, guess what? It wasn't nothing to color up because I blew through 500 bucks just that quick. I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, okay, I got to step away from the table. Something ain't doing right. And so I think, yeah, I played, let's see, that happened over, you know, waiting for the dice to get around. It took maybe, to blow through that 500 bucks might have took 2 hours. It was 10 o'clock already, and I'm scratching my head going, I'm in the hole once again. Not even 2 hours on the table, and I'm already down. I'm like, shit. So I think walked around, might have went over to the blackjack table. No, I think went and played some slots for a bit. Blew maybe 200 bucks playing slots, sitting down chatting with the wife, and then I was like, okay, let me get back on the table one more time, see if I can get anything going, because by this time it had cleared out. This was a Monday night, so well, it's Vegas. There's always, you know, action in the house, people there. But it had actually, the crowd had thinned out pretty good, so I decided, okay, let me get back on the table one more time and give it a shot. Bought in for 500 again, got back on the table. There might have been maybe 2 other guys on the table. They was rolling decent. The table, I think they had No, they didn't lower it back down. So bought in one more time at 50, and then as the dice came around, I think 6-8, the guy next to me, dice came to me. I had maybe a 5 roller and then 7 out real quick. I think I hit the 6 once and a couple of box number, but I only took 3. I took the place the 6-8, and the pint the pint the point might have been 9. So I was like, okay, and never hit the point. Think I made $30 back, and I was not happy with my shooting, you know. So I just told him, hey, color me up, and I walked away. So by the time I got back to the room that night, I was down $700 plus, maybe probably about 800, and I'm like, oh wow, this is the first night. I'm just here, just not even a couple hours, a few hours into the my stay. So I was like, okay, you know what? Until I figure out what's going on with my toss, I'm literally not betting any money, literally. So I think the next day I called it a night, went to bed. I was already a little jet lagged too, the flight out there. Went to bed probably about 1, slept in. Tuesday morning, October 18th, was all about me. Yes, that was my birthday. Woohoo! So we had reservations at Gallagher Steakhouse down in New York, and that was real nice. We had reservations for 6 o'clock. So during the day, we didn't do much. I think what did we do? Went downstairs, met up with our friends finally, played some slots. I didn't get on the table or anything. I think we walked across next door and walked the Miracle Mile area next door and just sat around and chatted. Then had some drinks at the bar and at Planet Hollywood. But I didn't play it, just looked at the tables and looked at the stadium crap. I was like, okay, we'll come back over here tomorrow and play that. So we went back over. By that time it was time to get ready for dinner reservations and stuff. Called up a cab, went down to New York. Had a great dinner. Had, what was it, that aged ribeye, New York strip. And my wife had the cowboy steak, that big old thing, and man, dinner was excellent. We had a great time there. It was 6 of us total, all couples, and so it was great. Then after the dinner, we had tickets to the Circus du Soleil Mad Apple show. Let me tell you, folks, I highly recommend that Mad Apple Circus du Soleil. Well, if it's Circus du Soleil, it's going to be a great show any which way. I've seen all the rest of them. The was it Cat? The Zumanity, that's the naughty one. And there are maybe 1 or 2. The only one I haven't seen, believe it or not, is the Michael Jackson one. And that's because my wife and her girlfriends went out there on a separate trip and they went and seen it. So anytime I say I want to go see it, she's like, well, I already seen that one. Okay, guess what? I haven't seen it. So anyhow, so all that went on, no biggie there. That, like I said, the show was excellent. The comedian in the show killed it. He is funny as hell. I won't give it away for those of you that might go see it, but folks, highly recommend Mad Apple playing at New York, Circus du Soleil show. Excellent show. All right, so after we finished up there with the show, I think just checked out a crap table up there. I got on there for a bit, bought in for $100. Their table was actually $15 table, bought in, couldn't get nothing going, just a quick couple of toss. Then my friend was ready to head back down to the Bellagio, so like, okay, cool. We headed back down the road, got a cab, headed back down. When I walked in there, noticed the action in there on Tuesday night was light, not much of a crowd, and the tables were $25 tables. I was like, okay, I can do this. So, but like I said, I had already had my mind made up. I wasn't gonna be playing any serious money till I could figure out my toss. So I promptly walked up to the table, pulled out $100, bought him for 100, then put 25 on the pass line, and commenced to throw. I didn't place any other bets, just $25 pass line, and so this was really going to be kind of an expensive practice session, $25 a hand, and I think first time I set the point, there was 6. I was tempted to place the 6, but I was like, nope, let me just make sure I'm not going to point 7 out, because that seemed to be my mantra. Troy would not like that. Troy, I'm not trying to steal your mantra. You can keep your handle. That PSO, no, that's yours. All right, so, but it seemed like, I don't know, like I was about to run off with it. Anyhow, started getting some throws in. Once I focused in on my grip, I had some grip issue going on, and then I started landing the chopper very consistently, keeping them tight, getting that nice skip to the back wall, and laying down like 2 flat tires. Okay, so my first roll was about a 7-roll hand, and actually hit the point. I had no money up top. Got paid $25 on the pass line. I was right, great. Then next hand, I threw a bunch of come out 7 with $25 on the pass line. Was just killing it. Made a quick $100. I think I threw like 4 7s back to back, and I was using the 3V set, so that got me a little concerned. And I started to change the set. I was like, nope, not gonna change the set. This is practice. I need to figure out what's going on. So I checked my stance. I check my grip, and then checked basically my landing area to make sure I was hitting the same spot. And second hand, once I set the point of 8, went ahead and took odds on the 8, and once you know it, came right back, boom, hit the 8. It's like, okay, right, and this was sticking with my 3V set. Next hand, went ahead and again staying on the pass line. I think I set the point of 6, came back, boom, hit the 6 within 2 or 3 rolls. That hand went on like that for end up with about a 12-roll hand. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm righting the ship here. The next hand, again, I played nothing but the pass line, and placed the 6 and 8, and sticking with the 3V set, hitting a bunch of 8s. I think the point was 5, and then ended up with a 13-roll hand. When all was said and done, I had 3 hands each with rolls. The first was 7, the second was 12, and the third was like a 15-roll hand. So I felt confident that I had corrected whatever problem I was having with my toss, and I was like, okay. I colored up with the same $100 that I bought in for. I colored up with $100 and walked away, and decided I wasn't going to do anything till the next day at Planet Hollywood. So that night, called it a night. I think we might have played some slots or whatever. Might have gotten the blackjack table for a bit, a little fuzzy right now. Yeah, I think I went and played some blackjack and 3-pot poker. Those are my 2 other, little side hustles that I like to dabble in. So that night, not much went on the didn't play basically Tuesday. Tuesday was all about, you know, correcting my grip, my toss, and like I said, I felt like I got the bugs worked out of it. Next day we went over to Planet Hollywood, and I got on the regular crap table. No, take that back. Went and we looked at the stadium crap. I was like, okay, me and my buddy was there. I was like, hey, you know what? Stadium crap thing looks interesting. I've been hearing about this. Want to try it out? So I went ahead and I think I put $100 in the machine because I was like, okay, never tried this. Looks more like a novelty thing. So went up there. He went up there when his turn came. My buddy, he isn't into crap or anything, but he you know, he hangs out with me, so he knows how to roll him a bit. He had a nice little 5 roller, no issues. Then he $7. Then the dice came to me. So I go up there, get him the stadium crap thing, you know, log in, they mirror your thing up there. You guys know how it goes. And let me tell you, I get them dice and I go on a run. I ended up with a 20 roller. I hit about 5 points. I was just killing the 6 and 8. I was stuck with the 3V set. I was killing 6, 8, 6, 8 for all inside numbers. Then all of a sudden it transitioned to 10s, hitting 10s, and man oh man. So a funny thing happened. The pit boss, I noticed he kept on looking at my toss, and the stick lady was there, you know, and then finally one of my dice, when I hit about roll number 23, 24, because every time I hit a point, everybody was like, yeah, way to go, shooter. So that kind of drew some attention, and the pit boss started paying attention. And then I think I just set the point of 8 once again for probably the 3rd or 4th time. And then I immediately hit the 8. And then the pit boss comes over and he's like, that's it. You're out of here. I was like, huh? He's like, no, we're taking the dice from you. You got to pass them. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, well, you see, your 1 dice hit the back wall, and that other dice, your 2nd dice, didn't quite make it to the back wall. I was like, okay, got it. But can I get a warning? He's like, nope. I've been watching you, and it looked like your dice wasn't hitting the back. I said, sir. I was like, you know what? I didn't even argue. I was like, okay, got it. I know my dice was hitting the back wall. You know, that's one thing about this toss. You know, anytime you throw in the chopper, it's like some of the the pit boss, the dealers, they start looking at you weird because the toss is a very light toss, and you know the dice trickle to the back wall as opposed to slamming off the wall. But he immediately took the dice from me on roll 24. So I was like, okay, no issues. I didn't even question it. You know, I was a little pissed, of course, you know, and went back to my seat where my buddy was at. He's like, yo, what the hell happened? He's like, hey, I got tossed. He said he didn't like my shooting. He said one of my dice didn't hit the back wall. Normally you get a warning. I get this. This guy did not give me any warning. He just tossed my ass. Told me, nope, we're taking the dice. Next shooter. Like, whoa. And he kind of had attitude too. So I was like, hey, no issues. I let it go. I went back, sat down. All I told the other guy was, hey, he's like, you know this is still your roll? I said, yeah, make me look good, man. He went ahead of now. He had a pretty good roll going. He rolled for probably another, probably 10 rolls added to my roll. So when the roll count was said and done, it was like 34 or something like that, because he added 6 to my roll. So it ended up being a pretty good roll. So I just got tossed. So anyhow, after he got finished shooting, then his roll came up. So he got to finish out my roll plus do his, and he ended up with about a nice 12 roll hand off of his own roll. So once he got finished, that was it. I colored up and walked away with about I colored up with about 300 bucks. So made a nice 200 bucks off of the stadium craps. Then I turned to my buddy and was like, "Hey, let's go next door. I don't want to play anymore. Let's go next door." We went over to Paris and got on the regular table, got on the crapless table over at Paris Casino. Got on there. Table was empty. Had maybe one of the guy on there. Got my roll going, and man, dialed in. Had a 15 roll right off the bat. Well, let's see. I bought in for. It was a $15 table. Bought in for 200. You know, I wanted to play everything at a 25 at a $25 green chip level, but after getting bit and being down 800 right off the bat the night before, it was more like 1,000 really. I was like, okay, let me ease up before I burn through my bankroll. So had a nitro going over there at Paris, almost hit the ATS, missed, needed the 2 and 12, the usual suspect, couldn't get it, but had a nice 15 roll hand. Then that was the first hand. Next roll had about a 9 roller, did okay. So I started feeling my toss was dialed in. I was there. So after that, we decided, hey, let's head downtown to Fremont Street. So we took a cab down to Fremont Street. The whole crew of us, all 6 of us, went down there. It was nice to see Fremont Street. Hadn't been down there in, let's see, we hadn't been to Vegas in about probably about 3 years now, since before the pandemic, probably 2016, 17. It might have been about 4 years since I've been to Vegas. So it was just nice stepping back down in there and seeing how everything has been renovated and stuff, seeing stuff like the D and all that. I was kind of limited to, walking about and hitting the casino because I wanted to go to Fremont and try to get a hat and all that stuff. But everybody wanted to hit up the Golden Nugget, which was fine by me. I was like, all right, let's do it. So went in, everybody scattered, went to look for their slot machine. I hit the craps pit, got on the table, bought in for 200. It was a $15 table, and there's maybe about 4 or 5, maybe about 4 of us on the table. 6, 8 everyone as the dice went around, and the dice came to me, and once again, like I said, my toss was dialed in, man, and I just went in a nice run. Had maybe, think at least a 10 roll in the first hand, and then and in that first hand, because I'm always up on the ATS, so, and actually went 10 10 10, hit the small on the ATS, so that was a nice payoff there. So that was 350, and then needed a 12 for the tall, couldn't get the 12. Finally 7'd out, the dice went around, came back around, went back up 10 10 10 again, and once you know it, hit the tall this time, and needed a 2 for the small, and but had a heck of a roll, at least about an 18 roller. No, it wasn't 20. It's more like about 16 to 18 rolls, somewhere up in between there, because I'm trying to keep track of them. But so hit ATS back to back in both hands. The dice went around again, came back, had another nice roll. By that time, everybody wanted to kind of walk around outside and look at the lights. So when I colored up down there, I colored up to the tune of about 600 bucks profit off my buy-in of 200 bucks. So that was nice. So felt like I was finally recouping, getting some money back in my pocket, so that was great. Uh, then went, played some slot, gave a little bit, give some of it back playing slots, chit chatting with everybody, and then we walked around, checked out the light show on Fremont Street. Then it was like, okay, time to head back up. By the time we got back to Bellagio, uh, the uh, the tables were at $25 still. Some were, they were a little spread out. You had a couple 25, a couple of 50, and of course some $100 tables, so which was actually pretty packed. So I got on there, and well, no, I couldn't get on there first. So I went and I played blackjack, bought in for 200 on the blackjack table, went through a quick 200 like that. I was like, okay, let me rebuy again. Before you know it, I'm down. I gave back another 400, and then I was like, okay, looked over the crap table, still packed, can't get on there, because when we came back up was right about 9-10 o'clock-ish, so the tables were pretty packed. Then I decided, you know what, me and my buddy went to get on the 3-card poker table, got on there, started playing, bought in for 200, just couldn't get anything going. Before you know it, rebuy for another 200. The same 800 that I had just made back down on Fremont Street, gave it all back to blackjack and 3-card poker. So now waited a bit, looked over, the tables finally started thinning out, was able to get on to position SR2, and started, but it was on a crapless crap table. And I decided, you know what, bankroll already done took a hit, let me wait. I'm not going to 6-8 everybody, wait for the dice to go around, and just till they get to the guy prior to me. Well, probably a big mistake on my behalf, because the two guys, the dice had just passed me when I got on the table, past the stick man. That guy had a nitro, probably a 25 roller. The guy after him had a 30 roller, and the guy after him, well, he PSO'd. Then the dice came down back down on my side of the table. I think there was a lady there. She threw maybe 3 or 4 rolls. So what I'm saying is I missed out on some good roll because I wanted to preserve my bankroll for my roll. So, and then I promptly bought in for 500 and had a decent roll going. Okay, I hit a couple of points. Try hitting some of those extreme on the crapless crap tables. So I used my kissing threes, and I normally offset them, so it's a 2-6-6-2, and I think I hit the yo a couple times, hit a couple of threes, then 7 out. First hand might have been about a 7 or 8 roller, nothing great there. Then so now the dice go back to those other 2 guys that I just rolled, and of course, guess what? I go chasing. I was like thinking, well, maybe this guy might get on a heater again. Fat chance, no luck. He says the point. I go 6-8 on him. I think I went inside just to, hopefully recoup something. He PSOs. The next guy, I do the same dumb shit. The guy that had the 30 roller, and he was a black chip better. Matter of fact, he was betting purple chips. Okay, he had a stack of purple chips, and you look down there and the 2 and 12, and he had like at least two on each of them. So it was $1,000 on the 2, 1,000 on the 12, and just black chip and everything covered across the board. on the crapless crap. And dude, he well, first time around he killed it. Second hand, yeah, he PSO'd too. And what did I do? I went chasing him too. Just betted the inside, 110 inside. Psh, went through that with a quickness. Dice came back around to me. Let's put it this way. Make a long story short, I played on that $500 for about from 10 o'clock that night till 2 in the morning. Till that's when I finally blew through that $500. I just dwindled down, couldn't get any traction, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go all in. I rebought for another 500 and just went 25, 25, 25 when I said all in, basically plussing up the ATS bet to 25, 25, 25 just to see if I could hit it and just play 110 inside. And came close many a time, but no cookie. Couldn't get it going. So when all was said and done, finally blew through that 500, left out of there about 3 o'clock in the morning to head up to the room, and I was basically ended up being down $2,500 for the trip. I'm like, okay, didn't quite burn through my bankroll, but I am kind of glad I took Cashier's Cage. A couple of guys I want to thank for for giving me that little nudge and say, hey, tip two into it. First off, Cashier Cage had just shot me a quick email saying the same thing. Sarge, make sure you ease into the game. Don't go balls to the wall. You know me, I like my 960 across. Didn't do that this trip, period. And then George from CY had shot me a little Skype text saying, hey Sarge, be patient with it, you know, ease into the game. That was everybody's thing, ease into the game. And I think also Ed over there, Roll to Win, like Ed said, play the game the table gives you, not the game you want to play or hope you want to play. Basically, just place the numbers as they come. Don't just, you know me, I like betting across. This trip, I did not bet across any time, okay? I might have went chasing after I hit a number, like the 4 or 10 twice, but for the most part, I just kind of played it inside. So, yep, all that being said, ended up being down $2,500 for the trip, so not happy about that. But all that being said, I enjoyed myself. It was a great trip, great birthday trip. But quick footnote. Funny thing was yesterday, not yet, well, today's Saturday. When I was about to leave on Wednesday, I was reading in the Crap Nation chat, and I think one of the guys told me, I think it was Super, told me that Chef Dice was at the Bellagio on Wednesday, and he had a monster roll. I think he held the dice for over an hour plus and walked away with close to 10 grand. And you know what? Hey, feel kind of silly because I was staying at the Bellagio. I was somewhere in the neighborhood, and I wish I had read the chat, kept up with it, and knew that he was in town, because if nothing else, I would just love to meet the brother, just love to meet Chef Dice and shake his hand and say what up, and getting to play with him would have just been a plus, would have been awesome. So, but it didn't happen. Maybe next time. So, all that being said, hopefully my next casino adventure, I'll do better. I got some work to do with my chopper toss still. I've been talking to Cashier Cage, and he already gave me some great pointers that I need to key in on. And again, only thing I can do until the next casino outing is practice, practice, practice. Hey, this has been the Sarge giving you my Vegas trip report. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, stay safe, my peep. Sarge out.